Tom, there you are.
Hey.
Good to have you with us. This is
Hello.
the big day. It's finally arrived. Your thoughts as we try to figure out, speculate even about the impact of this report and what it all means.
Well, you stole my line at the beginning. The long national nightmare is over in large measure, certainly as it relates to this years-long abusive investigation of the president. It's unless there's something surprising in there, and that Andrew Weissman and the anti-Trumpers just created some nasty dossier that Barr will rubber stamp and send out. The president is been vindicated to an extraordinary degree. No additional indictments. There's never been any Russia collusion, and in many ways, this report's a year plus late. Because recall, the three core issues were hacking, whether the Obama campaign, the Trump campaign was involved in hacking the Democrats, and whether they were involved in interference with the Russians in terms of buying ads or Facebook ads and creating false
Working in any way with the
false
Russians.
accounts, right? And so those indictments specifically ruled out any knowing involvement of any American. It should have been shut down a year plus ago, but instead we had a year plus of low rent indictments by an out of control special counsel, and I'm glad King Mueller is finally stepping down. I don't think harassment will end, but the president deserves, if there's not an apology in the report, there ought to be.
Yeah, that's a good point, and I'm a fellow who, over the course of my life and career, I've never sought either thank yous or apologies because you can move on rather neatly from both, and you should never rely on either.
Right.
The president has to be feeling very good tonight about the fact that there are no further indictments, that the Attorney General himself is considering making as much of this public as possible. He wouldn't do so if it were in any violation of department guidelines, Department of Justice guidelines, which would prohibit making known information about those who are not charged. So it looks like it is a very good moment for this president.
Yeah, I think the Attorney General should err on the side of transparency. We're a transparency group. We'd probably sue for the documents if they weren't made publicly available in large measure.
It'd be an interesting suit, since the law requires, regulations require a great care and confidentiality in not in any way putting out information that would harm those not charged.
Well, I agree, and there would be potential privileges that could be protected by the courts if they decided to assert them. But I would take the transparency a step further. The president should go on a transparency tear in terms of releasing information behind the fraudulent FISA warrants that have been withheld to date, some of the FBI documents, the charging documents for that set Mueller in motion, the collusion between the Obama operation and the Clinton campaign, all the text messages that we still don't have access to. We need some accountability for the outrage that was the Mueller operation, which was, as you know, just a seamless part of the web of the coup operation begun under frankly, this administration with Andrew McCabe and company.
Yeah, and company, again, pointing out that none of those who've been forced to leave the Department of Justice in disgrace has yet been prosecuted. Tom Fenton,